Hello, everybody. How are you doing on this fine Mother's Day? To all you mothers, happy Mother's Day. And, for all you sons and daughters, I hope you had a great Mother's Day with your mother. So, welcome to Futbol Miami TV. I am Peter Brown, and I, so far, am looking for my co-host. I am flying solo right now. I have no idea where Uncle Ed is. He is missing in action right now. So we will, hopefully Ed will join us at some point through the show. If not, it's just you and me. And that's okay because, we've got quite a few things to talk about, plus your voicemails. And I got to hang out with some Atlanta fans today. So that was a lot of fun as well. But thanks for joining us tonight on this Sunday night. I know a lot of you had, a busy Sunday, probably spending some time with your mother or family or wife or what have you and your kids. So I really thank you for carving out a little bit of time tonight to spend with us. Little asterisk about tonight's show is I am running this off a new computer, so I had to do all the setup all over again. So hopefully it all works out. If there's any hiccups tonight, well, we'll just blame it on the new Mac that we're running the show off on. But hopefully it goes okay. So how you guys doing tonight? If you're not active in the chat, please get into the chat and get active because I need your help tonight if I'm flying solo. And, of course, there's voicemail that we will get to. And if you haven't left one, please feel free to leave one. I'll put the number up in just a minute. Before we get to all that, we do need to say a big thank you to our sponsor, and that's Caneswear. If you were going to Inter Miami Stadium, if you're going to Drive Pink Stadium today, I hope you stopped by Caneswear. I know a few people that did. I ran into a friend from Atlanta. He had mentioned that he stopped by Caneswear today or yesterday. So if you're driving from Miami and you're driving north to the stadium on this coming Wednesday night again when we play against Montreal, stop by Caneswear. If it's on the 29th when we're playing DC United and you're on your way up from Miami, stop by Caneswear and Davie and get all your Inter Miami gear and mention Futbol Miami TV and you can get 10% off. Also, you could just go to the website. I know several of you guys that are out of the area, but just maybe it's a little too far for you to drive. Go to caneswear.com and use the same promo code FMTV10 and get 10% off. So, I was at the game this afternoon. It's tonight now. It was this afternoon. I was at the game. And it was a lot of fun. It was still at a limited capacity, so I'm not sure how many of you guys watching right now are actually at the stadium. But if you were, I'm telling you, it was amazing. It was an amazing feeling to, especially some of us have been following South Florida soccer for so many years, and I've been in this stadium, Drive Pink Stadium. Now I've been in it a handful of times, and it's just amazing. When you think about where we've come from the dilapidated Lockhart Stadium, or even before that, the old Lockhart Stadium with the Fort Lauderdale Strikers of old, and then the newer remodeled Lockhart Stadium for the Miami Fusion, and then the poorly taken care of Lockhart Stadium through the second version or the last version. It wasn't the second. There was many versions of the Fort Lauderdale Strikers, but the last version of the Strikers where there was holes in the walls of the bathroom, and it was just disgusting. And to see where we are today, it's an amazing feeling being in that stadium. Oh, a new Weissman. Damn you. A new Weissman. I ran into a new, and he did give me a Coke he says, don't drink the Coke. I'm not going to drink it. Anu. He gave me a Coke. It's in the other room. I forgot. I had so much going on getting ready for tonight's show. It's in the other room. Damn it. But I've got a Coca-Cola bottle with Atlanta United. It's very cool. And so I thank you for that. And no, I'm not planning on drinking it. It's probably old, right, Anu? Hey, so let's say hello to some of you guys that were here in the chat. I'm a little bit off my my norm since I'm flying solo. I normally would lean on Ed to do this stuff and bounce my conversation off of Ed, but he is not here, so we will, bear with me. So I see first off, Footballer was in the chat. So hello, Footballer. Let's see. Let's move some things around because again, this is a new computer. Considering Peter's on time, I was probably late. A Footballer's already saying fire Neville. Oh, come on, guys. Kevin Gonzalo was in here. Disgraceful officiating, he thinks. Questionable penalty at the end was just that, but the refs missed a bunch of calls, including a handball early in the match, which should have been awarded as a PK. Yeah, the general consensus inside the stadium was the refs sucked. And actually, I have a video I'm going to play a little bit later in the show where I spoke with Anu Weissman and a few of his friends from Atlanta, and I asked them the question about their thoughts on the officiating. Eric Thomas is in the house. Good evening, Eric Thomas. One world, one goal. As always, we kind of stink, guys. It wasn't the best game, but we got a point, right? Jazz Fusion, thoughts and opinions? Pro. Gonna pro. Not a wise idea to leave the best. Oh, he means pro, as in the referees. Not a wise idea to leave the best goal scorer in this league with time and space on the ball. Pizarro isn't the engine this team needs. Roster depth is a thing. Agreed. Jose Velasquez is here. Tie game. Tie at this point of Inter Miami. Coach Neville's version of Inter Miami at this time, a tie, I think, is a win, right? I mean, even though at the time that when I spoke to Anu, and I'm going to play that video shortly, when I spoke to him, I felt like it was a loss. But as I think about it more, maybe a tie is a win right now. Right now. I mean, a little bit later in the season, maybe we disagree. But Judge Dredd, not too bad of a game today. Beautiful strike from Lewis. See, everybody looks at it differently. Everybody. Anu, like I said, he's here. He's watching as he's getting ready to drive back up or fly back up to Atlanta. Anthony Ornelas. Sorry if I screwed up your name. The refs should be ashamed of themselves. And one world, one goal. St. Peter has had a few. I had a couple beers in the stadium, and I'm drinking one of my wimpy drinks that some of you might say is one of my wimpy drinks. It's organic seltzer. Some peach pear organic seltzer. So, I'm not drunk. Just got, Richard Greenberg. What's up, Richard? Carl Toppin's here. Lots of you guys. Sean the Fish Slayer. Everybody talking about the refs. Louis Rodriguez. Pathetic performance. And Marvin Mielis. What's up? All right, everybody. So it looks like we're 9 minutes in, and I'm waiting for Ed to join. It doesn't look like it's going to happen. So we may cut the show a little bit short, but because everybody's got a lot to do on Mother's Day and all that. Anthony Ornelas is asking, what's the word on Matuidi injury? No word as of now. I watched the post-game interviews with the coach, and as of right now, there's no word. Jonathan Carvajalino? I'm sure I butchered your name, but that's just kind of what I do. No pressing whatsoever. So, yeah. So when I was watching the game, I was watching it live, and I'm there in the stadium. The atmosphere was great. The supporters were amazing. They did a great job in the supporter section. They were loud. They filled it up as much as they could, considering the COVID restrictions that we're still under for a short time. They brought it. They were loud. Everything was great. The atmosphere was amazing. It's just so much fun to go to support your local team. I can't wait for those of you that were not able to get tickets during this COVID restricted time. I can't wait till the 29th against DC United when it is open. We are going full capacity I think it's the 29th, at the end of May, against DC United, full capacity, so everybody will be able to be in that stadium. And Chris Arjun is in here. I ran into him today. It was nice to talk to you, Chris. You know, the number one question while I was at the stadium, though, as I saw Chris, because I think Chris may have had the same question, I'm not sure, but a lot of people, I met a lot of you guys. I met a lot of viewers, and I appreciate that. That's awesome. Number one question was, hi, Peter, where's Ed? Number one question, where's Ed? It's Mother's Day. So Ed's with his wife, and I guess he did the right thing. Me, you know what I did? I'd say I might have learned a thing or two in my 20 years of marriage. It's coming up to 20 years. It's still 19, but in December it'll be 20. So close to 20 years of marriage, I learned a thing or two. We celebrated Mother's Day on Saturday. We went to go visit my mother, which was my wife's idea. So, that's two wins, right? And then my daughter and my wife are out right now doing a mother-daughter day. So I was scot-free. I was able to go to the game, and everybody was happy. But yeah, number one question that I was asked inside the stadium was, where's Ed? And we're still asking that question. Where's Ed? So my thoughts on the game, though, the actual game was, I was mad at Higuain. I was mad at Gonzalo Higuain. He's supposed to be our striker, right? We are so weak up at top. He's slow more than anything. He's slow. Let's just, he seems to want to be a midfielder. He drops back so much. Maybe just let him be a midfielder. And Pizarro to me was kind of invisible this game. Wasn't much of a factor. And I mean, he was running around a lot, I guess. He looked sweaty. I don't know what he was doing out there. He, it was a non-God for Lewis Morgan. Lewis Morgan getting back to the old Lewis Morgan that we saw last year. He's getting back to that. So I thought, I was wishing Higuain could just send him to the bench. Send him to the bench. But then again, we don't really have any other forwards right now. I mean, what are they going to put in? Josh Penn? Because I thought, so Josh Penn played with Fort Lauderdale CF on Friday. Was not impressed with him. I watched some of that game. Was not impressed with him. But apparently he was listed on the bench today, so he could have played today as well. Not impressed whatsoever with him. So he's, in my opinion, not much of an option. So you had to keep Higuain in there. All right, so what are you guys saying in here in the chat? Chris Arjun is saying that Higuain plays too deep and does nothing. He is way off pace of the game. I agree 100%. And I'm trying to make a change here. I'll have to do it later. Because these should disappear, but they're not. Baldwin 4 is here, and he was happy to see Morgan score, as were we all. One World, One Goal says Gregory got the pass to Morgan. Thank goodness they signed him at least him. I thought Gregory had a pretty good game. There was a couple times where he made a bad pass or what have you, but overall I think he had a really, really good game. I thought Gregory was good. We had we're shorthanded on defense now. You're putting Uoa in defense. Wasn't a fan of that. Dustin 2X says we need Robinson back. Yeah, Robinson looked good on the wing when he was playing on the wing. He looked good, and he also could play. You know what? Playing one up top, it ain't working. It ain't working. And for a lot of the game, from the way I saw it, at least, Pizarro was playing a lot at forward as well. But Almendarez 15 says, in my opinion, I believe he's not in shape. Higuain. He doesn't look in shape when you see him running out there. Dude's got kind of like a big butt out there. I don't know. One of the things that bugged me today, and I forgot, I did not load up these pictures. But if you follow me on Twitter, go look on Twitter at Peter Brown, I think. Or you can find it on at futbolmiamitv too, because I tagged. But you know what bugged me about the game was how filthy the stadium is. The people in charge of running that stadium, they need to realize they got to clean the damn thing before you invite people into the stadium. The seats are disgustingly dirty. Gosh, I forgot to load the pictures. I'm kicking myself right now because I didn't load the pictures. Because the seats were disgusting. I'm going to the Wednesday game, right? And I'm bringing my wife this game. I'm going to have to tell her to bring a box of Clorox wipes so we could wipe down the seats. There was a family in front of me that were wearing Columbia shirts. They're the yellow Columbia shirts. And then, they leaned back. I noticed, I took a picture of their backs. Filthy. Just black stuff all over their shirts from sitting on these seats in the East stands. Inter Miami, you got to clean your stadium. You walk down the stairs of the stadium. Happened to me the last game, I learned, but I saw it happen to another person. You want to walk downstairs quite often. You want to touch the handrails as you walk downstairs. You do that, you're going to, by the time you get downstairs, or not even that far, you are going to have a black hand. The stadium is filthy. And the stadium is still new. I mean, this stadium won't last the way they're taking care of it, because they're not taking care of it. And so it's like, focusing on the game, I was so focused on the dirt. It was a disgustingly dirty stadium. So Anthony Ornelas is saying, Peter, you said once how you hate how Higuain puts his arms up all the time. We have a new drinking game where you take a shot every time he puts his arms up. I think he did that less today, though, didn't he? I have to watch the game back on TV, because when you're at the game live, you're drinking, you're having fun, you're hanging out, you may miss a thing or two. But I didn't see him flapping his arms as much as he has done in the past. But yeah, you're right. You could definitely do a drinking game. One World, One Goal says, stadium dirty from planes taken off, needs extra clean. Hey, maybe that's the case. But I'll tell you this. I've been to Lockhart Stadium, the old Lockhart Stadium, and I never worried about dirty seats. This stadium, I don't know if it's because of the way the awning is over the east. I was sitting on the east. Where the awning is, I mean, just, guys, hose them down before a game. Get a hose up there. They're just plastic seats. Hose them down before a game. Because you're going to wear those cool-looking pink shirts. You're going to lean back. You're going to get up. That pink shirt's going to be disgustingly dirty. I mean, nobody wants to go to a stadium where you touch things and your hands are black. I know I may be focusing on the wrong thing, but that bugged the heck out of me. This is a big-time team, right? Spending big money. We got Mark Anthony walking around the stadium. Did Mark Anthony touch anything? Did Mark Anthony touch anything with David Beckham? Because maybe their seats over there in the West are nice and clean. But on the East, disgustingly dirty. I know I'm focusing on the wrong thing, and you guys want to talk about the game. Lawless Sniper says the refs today were absolutely atrocious. MLS will always be amateurish if they don't get serious. We should have won today on the flow of play. Yeah, refs were bad. But anyways, let's get to some voicemail. We've got a few voicemails here. So let's get to some. And if you haven't left us one, here's the phone number. Give us a call, 786-474-4435. Give me something else to talk about besides dirty seats.
Hey, Peter. Hope everything's okay with your fam. Sorry to hear about your news. And Uncle Ed, the world famous Ricky Ricardo. I was going to say fam, but I don't want to steal that line from our dear Uncle Ned. It's Italia checking in. Oh, my gosh. I'm so frustrated. At least Morgan gets his own ball and makes something happen. First of all, we need someone who, can bend it like Beckham. Did he not, show that little skill to people on all that training? Second of all, we need energy. We need discipline. We need to be in more shape, for this sweltering heat. It was pouring down rain here, so I'm sure it was humid up there in Fort Lauderdale. And we need, they should be practicing at noon when the game is on midday like that all week. We need, let's see. Well, I hate to slam on Pizarro, but we might need to think about trading him because we need some summer signings. Let's let Chris Henderson do his job. Get rid of pretty much all of the other leftover folks that we had signed from our favorite Tubby Vision ideas, as Uncle Ned would say. And we need to get the midfield needs to be much stronger. We need forward bite. We need a partner for Gonzalo. And whoever we have at present, whoever other than Morgan, we need to trade them all, sell them all, put them in Europe, send them back. So we need to open up international spots, and we need to get some new energy in. But at least they're able to come back to that 1-1. Glad for that. Okay, have a happy Mother's Day to everyone and your mama. No joke intended there. Love you guys. Love the show. Bye.
Everybody and their mama. So good thought. Good question. Pizarro. Need to get Pizarro out of here. She's saying he's not doing anything, and we're spending a lot of money on him and both Higuain. Look, I'm a bigger fan of Federico Higuain than I am of Gonzalo. But you're absolutely right. Pizarro, we need to look at it. If he's by summertime, can we get rid of him? I don't even know. I'm not sure, what the contract looks like. I mean, what it would cost the team to bail out on that contract. You don't want the team to necessarily lose a bunch of money, but he's not doing it. He's just not doing it. So, agreed. And let me try to airdrop something. I'm actually, I saw Ted was saying, I need to know more about these dirty seats. And I know he's just joking, but I'm looking for the images. I'm trying to get the images from one computer to another computer right now. I'm not sure if I could do this while being on the show, but I'm gonna try. All right. Let's go on to the next one. Next voicemail. While we're listening to this voicemail, I'll try to get images.
Fam. Damn.
Timing's off.
Yeah, man. Once again, just got finished taking my heart attack medication watching this game. It's a rough one, man. It's almost like a tale of two teams, man. I just want to start off by saying Happy Mother's Day to all the wives, the girlfriends, the mothers, the grandmothers, the daughters, the granddaughters, the nieces out there. Happy Mother's Day. We love you, and this is your day, and you deserve it. All right. And I also wanted to address Blaise Matuidi. I hope he's feeling better. He looked like he took a serious knock out there, but I'm glad to see that he's up on his feet. He was able to leave out the stadium on his own recognizance. He didn't have to get ambulance out of there. So, and then they said on the post-game show that he was actually signing autographs. So, hopefully the guy is feeling a little bit better. We're going to need him on Wednesday because Wednesday's another tricky game. I just wanted to start off by saying, as far as the game itself, the lineup was really just weird. Is it me, or am I the only one that think the game day lineup was a little bizarre? Like, we had Victor Ulloa playing as I think he was playing right back, if I'm not mistaken. So why not?
All right, let's continue that. Wait, we gotta fast forward it.
I think the game day lineup was a little bizarre. Like, we had Victor Ulloa playing as I think he was playing right back, if I'm not mistaken. So why not start Sammy Guederi? I think Sammy Guederi is ready to start, man. He's definitely a talent. We should have started Guederi. Jay Chapman, look, I know Jay Chapman isn't really a left mid. He's more of a center mid, holding mid. I think they did that to free up Rodolfo Pizarro, so Pizarro can operate in space. But Pizarro looks terrible out there. It's only game 4, so I'm not gonna go crazy. But somebody needs to put Pizarro's picture on the back of a milk box, because I can't find him.
Exactly.
There's a guy out there that looks just like Pizarro, but game playing wise, he ain't here. You know what I'm saying? We need to see more out of him, and there's a few guys out there we need to see more out of. But segueing into Pizarro, the offense. Listen, guys, man, I'm going to be blunt. I see some red lights going. And, again, I will preface this by saying it's only game 4, but, by now we can start seeing some trends, right? We notice things that are going on out there. And what we notice is that there isn't much creativity in the number 10 spot, right? We notice that,
and that's what, Uncle Ned likes to go long, but that's okay. We got another voicemail from Uncle Ned.
Yeah, so Uncle Ned back. Fam. I'm back. Anyway, what we notice in the offense is that there's not that much creativity there. So we see the frustration of Gonzalo Higuain. You know what I'm saying? And you kind of can understand why he's getting frustrated out there. If he's got to drop back to get the ball to bring up to the box, man, that ain't his job, man. He shouldn't have to be doing that. He should be getting service. And the service that he is getting is lackluster, man. It's not that good. And, like I said, I can see why he's getting frustrated. And, we got to address that, man. So maybe in the summer transfer window, we can address it by at least getting a backup. But the saddest thing about it is you sit Rodolfo down and you bring in Feddy. You can see the difference between night and day, man. You know what I'm saying? The only problem that I have with Freddy being there is that he tends to look for his brother too much, and that eventually, scouting-wise, they're going to key in on him. The Atlanta coach, Heinze, must have been kicking himself in the ass, because I'm pretty sure he was saying to his guys, look, man, we got to shut Feddy down. Feddy is actually the more potent he's a more potent midfielder compared to Rodolfo right now. So as the word starts going out in MLS circles and the scouting reports start coming out, people start keying in on Feddy more. And one of the problems that I notice is that he tends to overlook for his brother. He's kind of myopic in that, and that he just seems to look for his brother. But today,
he's looking for his brother. We know he's looking for his brother. Come on. I'm struggling here, guys.
But I'm glad he finally pulled through. So thank God we were able to get a point out of this, although we should have won. And last but not least, the coaching, MLS coaching. If you guys don't know by now, MLS coaching sucks. It sucks bad. You know what I'm saying? These guys owe us an apology, man, because it's not just one. It's 2 specific times that we should have gotten a penalty. One was Gonzalo kicking the ball at the 60th minute. A guy had it. Actually, it was Robinson, whose arm was outstretched. On the replay, you could see that it hit Robinson's arm, and that should have been a handball, period. The other one was Yoa, but they both weren't called. I don't know what the hell is going on here in Major League Soccer. I don't know whether they hate it in Miami, they don't have respect for it. I don't know what's going on, but.
All right, well, that's it from Uncle Ned. Thank you, Uncle Ned. It gave me time to load up some images, so thank you for that, too. But the point about Federico, and I see it in the chat as well, people want Federico to start. Phil Neville commented on that in the post-game conversation, in that Somebody, I think it might have been our friend Franco Panizo, might have been him that asked about starting Federico, and it sounds like it's less likely to happen. It sounds like Phil feels like his greatest impact is the last 30 minutes of the game, and so but I'm with you guys. I want to see Federico start. I want to see what we might look like with Federico starting the game, and put Pizarro on the wing or something like that. And there was conversation in the off during the week where Phil Neville I think it was Pizarro that commented that Gonzalo Higuain and him sometimes occupy the same space because Gonzalo likes to drop back and because he's not getting the service. Pizarro understands because he does the same thing. And they sometimes occupy the same space. And they admitted that they're working on that this past week. They're working on how basically to work together. It ain't working. But Federico, I think he brings so much into the game. I'd like to see how he looks when he starts the game. But it sounds like Phil Neville still sees him as somebody that's coming off the bench. Just so you guys, that's what I've seen. And Lawless Sniper says, okay, but Higuain honestly looks slow. Like you could tell he's aged. Fede is solid, but at this point in his career, he can't play a full game. And that's exactly what Phil Neville feels. Jason Weiss is here, and he says, we are a better team than last season, but there's still tons of room for improvement. Yeah, and let's talk about that for a second. As much as we're picking on the team right now because we're upset because we didn't win, I think we're better than last year. I saw somebody post a stat that, the amount of points that we have right now, it took us like eight games, I think, to get to. And now here we are in half that amount of time with the same amount of points. So I feel like we're a better team. We're just not a complete team. We're just, we sometimes we look good in defense, but here's funny. I'm walking to get a beer, and you end up talking to people. And I'm walking up the stairs or whatever. We start talking, and he looks at me, and he's like, "This game." He's like, "It's so amateur out there." And this is a common thing I see at soccer games, no matter what level. You've always got this guy, nice guy, super nice guy. Even wished Happy Mother's Day, super nice guy. But so many guys out there are like, man, I play D1 soccer. I play D1. I could play better than that. You always hear that. Always, no matter what level. This is amateur. I could play better than that. No, you can't. First off, nice guy walking up the stands. No, you can't. Because if you could, you'd be out there doing it, right? It's easy for us to sit in the stands and bitch and moan. And that's part of being a fan. That's part of what we do because we want to win every game. But I do think we are a much better team than we were last year. We're getting there. The defense does look better at times. Sometimes they don't. Ryan Shawcross looks pretty good, but he was a little bit slow on that Atlanta goal. You can't give a goal scorer like that kind of space and time. So Shawcross was a little slow, but overall, I think the defense is improved. Where we haven't improved is the attack. That's where they need to really focus on now. But they obviously focused on the back first. So, but I agree with Jazz. We are a better team this year. We're more fun to watch, but we're just not as good as we want to be. All right, let's go to some more voicemails. True. One World, One Goal says, we have our Euro snobs, but we like our local team too. Hey, and I'm not calling this guy a Euro snob. He was wearing the Inter Miami gear. He bought the merchandise. He's at the game. I don't think he's a Euro snob. I just think he's a guy that, and you see it all the time, that, hey, I played and I could do better. And I just stand by what I said before. No, you can't. Because if you could, you'd be out there. All right, here's another voicemail.
Hi, Peter. First question is, where's Ed?
I don't know.
Second thing is, this is Ted from South Florida. My question is,
where's that?
About Pizarro. Is it possible that he's just in the wrong position? Because
Yeah.
I actually think he's a very skilled player. I feel like I'm defending him every week, but it's getting harder to defend him when he has 0 assists and 0 goals as an attacking midfielder. Maybe can he play together with Federico Higuain? I always have trouble saying that. Anyway, there's got to be something they can do. Also, I feel like Gregory is getting better every week. So he's been one of the bright spots on the team the last couple of games. I thought he was terrible the first couple of games, but maybe he was just getting used to MLS. Okay, anyway, talk to you later. And I was just kidding about asking where Ed is. I'm watching a show. I know that he's a no-show today because he's lazy.
What you said. Where the hell's Ed? You know, you've heard of where's Waldo? Where's Ed? Where's Ed? Where's Ed at? Well, here's the thing. I'll say this. Ed's being a good husband, I assume, and with his wife, it being Mother's Day and all, and because she has children. So it makes sense. So I will give him that. But to your point about Pizarro playing in the wrong position, I agree with you. I would love to see him. I think wing. Other people have said. I've heard other people say he's a natural number 8. Okay, fine, put him there. I'm always confused. 8, 10, all that stuff. I mean, you're in the midfield. You kind of interchange. One just does a little more defensive than the other, but you're still in the attack. But I agree. He's not a number 10, and everybody said that from the very beginning that he's not a number 10, and it's showing. He's not facilitating the game. Federico is, and how will they, push him out wide maybe, or play with 2 up top? Can Pizarro play as a forward with Higuain and let Higuain, hold the ball and pass it off to Pizarro, or I don't even know if he does that because he drops back all the time to get the ball. But if his brother's in the game, maybe he doesn't feel like he needs to drop back as much because he trusts his brother more than other people. And he doesn't flap his arms to his brother as much as he does to other people. That's for darn sure. So so he definitely could be out of position. And one thing I'm missing from when Ted calls is he always tells us where the city is that he's from. Like, it tells us like Coral Gables is in, it tells us a little bit about the city. Tell us a little bit about South Florida. Where in South Florida? What's up with that? All right. Okay, we have one more voicemail. And then after that, I think I will get to our little post-game video that I shot with our friend Anu Wiseman.
Yes, good afternoon. My name is Javon, and, I was at today's game. I was in the supporter section.
Nice.
I have to say, as usual, the support, from all the supporters grew, the Legion, the Siege, Vice City. Amazing as usual. One thing that wasn't amazing, was the decision making of the referee, and not even just what happened or didn't happen for us, but just the flow of the, you could see where a player lashing out influences his decision. There were multiple times where it's like he was reaching to his pocket and then he was like, no, I said, too much indecision, and I think it ruined what was really overall a very good game. And, we looked solid out there. We definitely looked solid, versus a team like Atlanta who, they've had a bit of a rough time now, even though they're on their way back to where they were. But we want to, emulate the type of success that they've had, So for us to go out there and push ourselves like that and ultimately get the point, it was good, amazing goal by Morgan. And still a lot of work to do, but I can definitely say that I appreciate more Phil Neville more than Diego Alonso at this point. Thank you, man.
All right. Thank you, Siobhan. Yeah, I think Neville was a big question mark because he's never coached, head coached a men's team. But so far, I would agree. I think I like him better than Alonso. And maybe it could be simply that I understand what he's saying because I don't speak Spanish. I don't know if that's it. But I feel a little bit better with Alonso in there. The team feels a little bit better than they did last year. The referee, yeah, I agree. I mean, I question a lot of the calls he made. The whole stadium did. You could hear it. And even some of the fans from Atlanta would agree that, he was poor on both sides. But Chris Arjun is saying that he sees better number 9s every week in the NSL, UPSL, PASL, who would be better than Higuain right now. Give him 15 minutes at the end of the game and use only as an impact player. But you can't do that because of the amount of money. He's the most expensive player in the league. That's the problem. They spend a boatload of money on nothing. On nothing. It's frustrating. It's so frustrating. Curious in who Chris Henderson would bring in. Because this is not Chris Henderson's decision, but now he's in charge. So who would he have brought in? Who might we see next year, right? Or in the summer. The funny thing is, I keep seeing transfer rumors and things like that from players from Europe. It's just you're always going to see it with Inter Miami. But they're all defenders that I keep hearing about. We don't need more defenders. Our defense is not amazing, but it is improved. We needed somebody to help score the goals because that will take some pressure off the defense. Score a goal or two, and it takes pressure off the defense. All right. Ted says, I have lived all over South Florida, from Miramar to Coral Gables to Hollywood to Fort Lauderdale to Miami, North Miami to Surfside. I have no preference on which city or country is best. Or county, I think is what he means. I've lived most of my adult life, or all of my adult life in Broward, but I did grow up in Dade, so I hear you. All right. The supporters, to Javon's comment, supporters were amazing. Supporters didn't let anybody down. All right, let's play this little video clip that I did, and let's see if this works. Because again, I've got everything new here. So let's take a listen to Anu Weissman and his friends from Atlanta. Let's see. And keep in mind, I use straight iPhone audio. It's not the best audio, but let's see how it goes. All right, Anu Weissman and some other Inter Miami fans. I'm sorry.
Oh, Atlanta United fans.
Atlanta United fans. We're at Inter Miami Stadium, so I can't help get Inter Miami out of my mind. Look at that.
Jello shots.
You guys.
To Atlanta.
Hold on.
Let's flip it around, right? There you go.
Come out to us. Come see the J shots. Jello shots.
Jello shots in Atlanta.
Steve and
Yes.
Tracy are the most amazing people you'll ever meet.
Yeah, they really are.
All right.
Here's the main scarf.
So Anu and gang, what are your thoughts on this game?
I mean, it was pretty hard fought. Like the first half, you can see that it was very defensive with Atlanta United. I mean, I don't know what's up with Higuain and Pizarro. They just were not creating any chances
They
at
suck.
all.
That's what's wrong.
Yeah, what he said. Go ahead.
And then not to mention it was very gritty. A lot of yellow cards were given today. So I'm surprised no reds happened with as much was going on, honestly, on either side.
Yeah, so it was, 1-1. Do you guys consider that a win or a loss? I mean, for us, that's kind of a loss at a home game. What do you guys think?
Any road trip where you get a point is a win. That will, with any team, if you go on the road and get a point out of the match, it's a win.
Yeah.
It's a win, I will say that, but I think we had a lot of chances to get a second goal, especially in the first half, I think. So,
Yeah.
but I don't know. We are a little behind on the table, so I was maybe hoping for a win, but
So are we.
yeah.
I mean, not only that, the fact is, you saw how when they subbed off Joseph, that whole attack just basically went down the drain and everything. I mean, I like Kubo's a good guy, but man, he's just not fit enough at all.
So what do you think, as Inter Miami fans, we're pretty upset about the ref. What are your thoughts on the ref tonight?
What was the
today?
ref's name?
I don't know his name.
Okay. Yeah, I think the ref could have been a little better.
There were things that the ref looked at and I will say that there were things I'm like, oh god, we were about to get like a red card. There was probably a handball that happened like right in the first half that should have been awarded to
Let's
y'all.
go 5 stripes.
But
Okay.
Wrong stadium. Wrong stadium.
I'm in the right stadium. They're good, Chelsea.
yeah, there's been some bad officiating this season. I mean,
Oh yeah.
I mean,
on every
Especially in
about every game.
CCL.
I mean that foul that was made by Atlanta in the goal line. When I saw that, I was afraid that was gonna be a penalty.
Yeah, that was another one. That
Yeah.
could have been a PK, and then the handball that was,
Oh,
it
yeah.
was pretty blatant. So it's like shit. It could have been 3-1. Y'all put y'all up on us.
Exactly.
All right, well, you guys having fun down here in South Florida. What's next? Are you heading right back up, or are you going to go and party on Fort Lauderdale Beach a little
We're
bit?
staying for another day, so we'll be leaving tomorrow.
Right
Yeah.
early. Got to be up at 4 a.m.
Yeah, I'm going off. We're heading back home tonight. But it was lovely. I mean, I love
Yeah, what are your thoughts about the stadium?
Stadium is great. I mean, I know that some of the stuff is temporary and everything, but I gotta admit,
It feels like a soccer stadium.
yeah, it really does.
Interesting. I haven't been to a stadium like this yet. I've been to the Lockhart Stadium, but this is just a totally new experience compared to other stadiums we've been to.
No, that you guys have a very unreal atmosphere. I mean, when I saw the first game on TV, and I was like, this is just very consistent. I come here, it's the same. You guys are consistent pretty much 90+ minutes.
Supporters are strong here in South Florida.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, it was a fun game. Obviously, even draw. I mean, both teams came in here with a record of 1-1-1. We leave the game with the same exact record as well. The same record in Atlanta and Miami. So good luck, and thanks for coming out to South Florida.
We see y'all in Atlanta.
I'm sure some of people will travel.
All right, thanks a lot to Anu and his friends. I know some of you guys in the chat were asking who the hell are these guys. Anu is a regular viewer of Futbol Miami TV. So we've actually had him on the show one time when we were prepping for last season when we were prepping for an Atlanta game. So good talking to them. I'm going to try to do more of that this season. Try to get maybe some more fan conversations, and I think it's kind of fun when we can have some from the opposing teams. So, and you know what was cool was, and you might have seen this on social media, but the Atlanta and the Inter Miami fans coming together and just chanting about how much they hate Orlando. There was all these chants pre and post game, or it's just F Orlando, all this kind of stuff. So it was pretty funny. The two fan bases. There's no rivalry at this point, at least, between Atlanta and Miami. They're just post game doing shots together, chanting how they both hate Orlando, inviting each other up to each other's stadium. You know, everybody's saying, "Hey, when you come to Atlanta, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do that." So very welcoming, great fan base there from Atlanta, at least those that traveled. And I met quite a few. Besides those three guys, I met quite a few around the stadium. So you know. It was good to see those guys, and good to see how there was no issues, because sometimes you see in soccer games, and I've experienced this in the lower division. Sometimes you see in games where there's just fights and all this kind of ridiculous drama amongst the fans and stuff like that. Heck, I remember going Strikers versus Tampa Bay Rowdies away trip up in Tampa Bay at I forget the name of their stadium, their baseball stadium up there. But, playing there, and I was there with my family, with my wife and daughter, not feeling safe at all walking around their stadium with a Strikers gear on, because their fans there, the Rouse mob, were a bit aggressive at that time. Now, I know they've chilled out a lot over the years, and I've met a few of them. They were great guys. But it's good when you could see the rivalries on the field, but the fans just want to party and hang out together and commiserate or share a beer or a drink or several shots. I mean, you know what was happening post-game? Aguardiente. Those of you that are Colombian or have been to Colombia or drank Colombian drinks, know what that is. But it's just pouring aguardiente around people's mouths, just going around everywhere, just going crazy. I did not partake in that, just FYI, because I was driving. So that was not going to happen. Eric Thomas says, kind of surreal, reminds me of the vibe we got and the love we got from LAFC fans. Felix74 says, LOL, Miami, Atlanta friendship. There's a common bond over hating Orlando. Just because Orlando fans smell worse than Atlanta fans doesn't mean I want to drink with them. Okay. And how about those three guys really appreciating our stadium, our little stadium, our dirty stadium, but they were appreciating our stadium. Hey, speaking of dirty, as we're wrapping up the show, take a look at this. These are the seats. This is a white seat, okay? This white seat, that's not speckled paint. It's dirt. Straight up filth dirt. Here's the pink seat. Same thing. You're going to sit on that. You can see up at the top. That's where your back is going to go. And this is what your back may look like afterwards. I mean, it's not too bad. But you don't want that. And then here's like the just a little, let me take this off. Let me move this. Let me remove that. Let me remove this one. Look at this image. Look at this is just the grading, the floor that you're standing on. Now I know in a stadium the floors are not great, but look, it's already rusted up and just disgusting. They don't clean it. They don't clean this stadium. I care about the important things here on FMTV, and that's the cleanliness of your stadium, especially in these Corona days. In these Corona days, everybody talks about how they use all these cleaning methods and everything to make sure the stadiums, I haven't said it in a long time, but like at Disney, they spray down the seats and everything between certain amount of ride vehicles, like every hour or something like that. Then they send it through, and everybody's saying they're doing enhanced cleaning methods. Air Miami is not doing any cleaning. Zero cleaning is happening there. Except, hey, I will say this. Bathrooms are clean, though. Doing a good job there. The bathroom staff is doing a good job. One minute I walk into the bathroom, they ran out of paper towels. 30 minutes later, whatever, I got to go again. Paper towels were refilled. Nice and clean. Refilling what we need in there. So good job there. But not so good everywhere else. But thank you, Ted. Good show, he says. Thanks for the entertainment. Hardly missed Ed or whatever his name is. Agreed. Yeah, we forget about Ed. I mean, Chris Arjun says, at least the beer was cold today. That's expensive beer, though. The beers at the stadium, I will give you this. They're giant. They're really big beers. And that's where, when Ed and I went to the last home game, and we were smashed when we did that post-game show. So bad where it was a little embarrassing how bad we sounded. But we drank, I think, 4 of those, and I'm a lightweight. Drank 4 of those big, tall things, and they're like $13 each. One beer. Again, it's a big beer. $13 each. Anthony is saying, did they run out of empanadas again? I don't know. I have yet to eat at the stadium. But I will say this. I noticed some new food trucks, or new to me, because I walked around the stadium a little bit more this time. I was at the stadium by myself. So pre-game and then also at halftime, I decided to walk over to the south stands, and there was some sort of like fish food truck over there. So there's a few more, or new to me at least, food options out there. So, I don't know about the empanadas though, but if they got empanadas there, I got to try them. I love me an empanada. Get some empanadas in whenever I'm in Medellin. We'll get some empanadas. That's our, so at my company, when we were in the office pre-coronavirus, Every Friday, my company gives us bagels. And so it's kind of a nice benefit. You go in, there's bagels and all the fixings and everything every Friday. In Colombia, they don't do bagels. They do empanadas. Problem is, it's a little greasy for this gringo's stomach. And so sometimes my little tummy is not feeling so good after eating an empanada. But damn, do they taste good. Put a little hot sauce on that empanada. Man, they're good. But you know, I've been to Argentina also. And that's the question. Who's got better empanadas, Colombia or Argentina? Argentina's, if I remember correctly, they're more like baked. They're not as greasy. Those are some good empanadas. I know my daughter thinks the empanadas in Argentina are better. What do you guys think? Who has the best empanadas? Peter Brown versus real liquor? What are you talking about? Of me drinking? I didn't drink real liquor. I just drank, beer. And now I'm just drinking my, organic seltzer. Not sponsored or anything like that, but tastes good. Organic. Question. When can people have a tailgate party? We can do something in September, maybe for the show, Futbol Miami TV party. Well, they are tailgating. Fans are tailgating across the street. So where all those of you that are familiar with the area, right across the street of the stadium are a bunch of like businesses and stuff like that. So a lot of people are pitching little tents around there. I would just say, I don't know. I'll leave that to Ed. If Ed wants to throw a FMTV tailgate, we could do it. Or the easy thing to do is hijack Southern Legion's tailgate, because we're already Southern Legion members and I'm already there. So just have everybody stop by the Southern Legion tailgate and talk about the show and the fun we have talking amongst each other and the chat and all that stuff. I mean, that's an idea. One World, One Goal says Argentine for sure, even though I am Colombian partial. I might agree. The thing is, the Colombian ones are fried. So, Eric Thomas had a Uruguayan empanada last week. Wasn't too bad. I've never had a Uruguayan empanada. I would be interested in trying a Uruguayan empanada. You lot coming down to Seattle for any away days? Felix is saying, woo, Seattle. Hey, look, I'm sure there's somebody that'll fly to Seattle. And it's not down, by the way. For us, that's a long way up. I'm sure, you know what, with the flights being so cheap, those guys that came down from Atlanta, normally in the past, the supporters that I know would have driven to Atlanta, or Atlanta would have driven here because it would have been cheaper. These guys got $50 flights. So why not? It's cheaper than gas. They flew. But here's the thing. I'll go long on this show for empanada talk. I love when we talk about the serious things. Here on FMTV, we cover the most serious topics in disguise as a soccer show about Inter Miami, where we talk about dirty seats and empanadas. That should be the name of the show. I should change the title, Dirty Seats and Empanadas. But Luis M says Peruvian empanadas. So look, here's what I'm thinking. If we ever do, say, an FMTV tailgate, or we hijack the Southern Legion tailgate, we got to bring empanadas. We got to have an empanada tasting. Manuel Garza says, my cousin named Deez said he's a huge fan. Awesome. Don't we have a midweek game this week? Yes, and because I got so sidetracked with everything else, did not talk about it, but we're playing Montreal on Wednesday. It is a short turnaround week for Inter Miami, and that's where depth. We don't really have much in depth with all the injuries that we have. So, but Montreal is not so good this year. I'm not sure how they play. I think they might have lost this last week's game. I'm not sure. But another thing that's interesting, I didn't notice this last game, But as I'm driving into the stadium, I'm driving from Cypress Creek. Those of you who know the stadium, you can come in from Cypress Creek or Commercial Boulevard. I'm driving from Cypress Creek, so I'm going down that road because I'm going to park in the green parking lot. And as you're driving, you drive past all the training part of the stadium first. You drive through the training facilities because you're coming up that north end. And the far northeast side, they have it all fenced off where there was no fencing before. They have all fenced off for Montreal, and they've got all their banners up, that BMO, all their sponsors. It's really interesting to see all these Montreal sponsors here in Fort Lauderdale. So that's their like blocked off area far away from where Inter Miami would train, because now these two teams are training in the same facility and are getting ready to play a game, but yet you don't want, there's rules. You can't spy on each other. But it's hard not to, right? So yeah, they're playing Montreal. That to me, here's the thing that I was thinking before starting the show. Okay, fine. We tied. Kevin agreed. Kevin did confirm that Montreal lost yesterday to Salt Lake, to Vancouver. All right, good. Well, good in that they lost, bad in that, spoiler. I end up watching a lot of the games later. I'll watch MLS games throughout the rest of the week. Games that I just don't know the score to. I'll watch them throughout the rest of the week. Finder, we complained the first 30 minutes of the show. Now we are laughing. Finally. All right. But what I was saying before is I think, okay, we tied against Atlanta. Atlanta's been a little bit down this year, in most recent years, but we all know Atlanta's a quality organization. Montreal's a struggling organization for a long time. Okay, I'm all right with that we tied Atlanta. We have to win against Montreal. Montreal now, to me, even this early in the season, is a must-win. We got to prove ourselves. We got to, I think it's a must-win for Montreal. But it's a short week. So, and how many of you guys are going to be joining me at the stadium? I will be at the stadium. I'm sure it might be a smaller crowd because it's a weekday. Those of you that live in Miami may have a harder time to get up to Fort Lauderdale by 7:30 p.m. But I will be bringing my wife. So if you see me in the stadium, please come by and say hi and say hello to Mrs. Brown as well, as some of you guys call her. Thanks everybody for joining us. I think that's about it. I'm looking through the chats. Oh, good question here. Before we go, Kata says, you think for the away game versus Montreal, Miami fans will be allowed? I do not think so. I don't think they will be allowed because so far Montreal has not allowed any fans in whatever games they've played at Drive Pink Stadium. For whatever reason, I'm not sure why. Maybe it's just part of the agreement they have with Inter Miami that they're closed-door matches. Or maybe because the team would have to be besides they're paying to rent the stadium, they would also have to pay for the security and all these extra costs that they were not expecting to pay when they started the season. I'm not sure, but I would lean towards no, they will not allow fans. They should, Damien says, and I assume you're talking about the same thing. But yeah, how many of you guys are going to be at the game? I'm going to be there, so. Eric Thomas is saying they're better than you think, Peter Brown. They may be, but I still think we got to beat them. We got to beat them. We want to be the team that's showing MLS about what football is. That was their big thing coming into the league. We're going to teach MLS what football is. They play soccer. We're going to teach them what football is. All that nonsense. Well, you got to win a game like this. All right, I'm going to stop rambling on because, I could do that. And it's 8:04 and it's time to go. So everybody, thanks so much for joining in the chat. You guys are awesome in the chat as always. The chat is its own show. If you're watching this later in the week, like I met a couple guys today that said, hey, I'll watch this on Monday. Watch it on Sunday because the chat might be even more fun than whatever nonsense is coming out of my mouth. The chat has their own show. It's a show within a show, and they're awesome. So join the chat. Join us live, Sundays, 7 p.m. Also, something I want to promote again because we failed this week, guys. We failed. You failed. After every game, win, lose, or draw, send me a quick little video of your reaction from that game. We didn't have a reaction video last week. Why? Because nobody sent me a stupid reaction video. And I know some of you might sit and think, well, that's not my thing. I can't break down the game like Uncle Ned, like Ted. You know, I know I can't break down the game like some of these, like Enzo, right? That's okay. Show us your reaction. You're happy. Whatever. Send us a video. Send us a short video, 1 minute, 2 minutes, whatever you got. 30 seconds, 10 seconds, whatever. It's just you cheering. I don't care. Send us a video at futbolmiamitv@gmail.com. Send it to us today, tomorrow. We'll try to put up the video on Tuesday. So send us the videos on Sunday or Monday. And let's if the series dies, it's your fault because you didn't send me any videos. I think it's fun. I want you guys to be a part of Futbol Miami TV. You guys are one of the best parts about this weekend show. So I want you to be a part of the weekday show as well. So send in some fun video clips, and we'll do it again. Thank you, everybody, for participating and watching. Again, it was a lot of fun. And as a reminder, please go to Caneswear and buy all your Inter Miami gear there. So thanks so much. All right, everybody. It was fun. I'm looking for the outro now. Please like, share, and subscribe, and we will see you next week.